Hello, work life warriors. Happy Thursday. How are you? How are you doing? How's your work week? We are more than halfway through the work week. So, how's it going? Are you playing as hard as you work? Today, I want to talk to you about a topic that is so important, which is learning constantly or having a growth mindset. As you can see, everything around us is constantly changing and it will always change, right? Change is the one thing that is inevitable and the one thing that will always happen when you least expect it, right? Unless you are a sniff, because if you're a sniff, then you are expecting change, you are looking for it. If you are seeking it, it is there. But other than that, change is the one guarantee that seems to come at the worst moments, right? One way that we can deal with change is to learn constantly, have a growth mindset. When a problem approaches, we need to figure out what we can learn to eliminate the problem, how we can become better through the information that we learn every single day. There's a quote that say, "Do something today that your future self will thank you for." And I like to say, learn something today that your future self will thank you for. It is so important because right now we're not thinking about the needs of when we're, older, or when our brain doesn't work as quick, it doesn't fire as fast, our body is not moving the way that it used to move. We're not thinking about what life would be like or will be like if we do not learn now to make sure that we are putting a buffer between what life will be like as we age. And so right now, I learn all of the things that I will need to know to make sure that as I transition and go through these milestones in age, that I know what I need to know, that I'm doing what I need to do, and I'm walking into the person that I'm supposed to be because I am learning constantly. I'm taking on the information that's changing my mindset, helping me grow and develop. If you believe in something bigger than yourself, you have a purpose here, right? And learning about yourself and those around you and the environments that you're in will help you walk towards your destiny. It is so very important that we discover who we are, we learn who we are so that we can bring our gift, talents, and abilities to the world, to our communities, to our families, to our employers. It is so important to learn about the industry that you're in because you can innovate, right? You can help us as a social family uh, develop more, grow, expand, push us more towards higher thought process by you developing yourself. The more you learn, although it's 8 billion people here, the more you learn, it helps impact the world. It helps shift the world. Just think about within a company, you may have 200 employers. Um, or 200 employees, but what you learn helps everyone, right? Because now you add something that wasn't there before. And so learning constantly is the way to avoid problems in the future. It's the way to solve problems now. It's to help keep your brain developed, solving the problems now that you may not be able to solve in the future. It's making sure that you're working your brain because your brain is a muscle. And although audiobooks are very helpful, we have to actively read. Our eyes need to shift from left to right as we're reading. That helps to decrease cortisol in our body and combat stress. It helps us to take on new information and accept, ourselves and new information from other people and how they process and view the world in different perspectives. And the more you take on, the more you learn, the more you're able to solve problems and be okay with how other people solve problems. It makes you less judgmental because you are taking on more mindsets other than your own, right? Because that's what reading is. You're taking the mindset or the perspective of other people and you're taking from it what you want to know and discarding the rest. And so we need to be very intentional about the problems that we have in our lives. We should never be the same. You should be different every single day, every week, every month. You should be growing and developing. You should see yourself walking into the person that you're destined to be because you're taking on what you need to know. Learning should not just be for personal gain. You should just have a love of learning, be curious about yourself and the world around you. So within, so without. So if you want to reform the world around you, you have to work to reform yourself. There's so much information out there to help you be your best self, not to just focus on the personality ethic, but to focus on your character, because there are a lot of tricks that you can use to develop a personality that people love to manipulate people. But a lot of people can be very accomplished or are very accomplished, but internally they're miserable. I believe it's more important to develop your character, learn about who you are, fortify your values, and make it so every single day you're learning about who you are through those values so that you practice integrity. So learning is so very important. You don't need to be prompted to do that. Just be very curious about the world that you're living in, right? And it's not formal education, or learning doesn't have to be formal. You can learn through play, you can learn through experiences, you can learn through your day to day. You just have to be open to taking a lesson and reflecting and figuring out what you were supposed to learn from every experience that you have. All experiences are meant to build your anti-fragility. You just have to be open enough to allow it to happen. So please share with me, what do you think in the comments? What do you think about growth mindset? What do you think about learning constantly? What do you think about learning something today that your future self would thank you for? I would love to know your thoughts and how you show up every single day to learn in your own life, or if you're doing that. Personal development is just as important, I believe more important than professional development. We spend so much of our lives learning to be professionals, but without us taking the initiative, we do not spend enough time developing our character or understanding our internal world. And that is most important. Self-knowledge is the highest form of knowledge, and it is the way that you maneuver through the world, you experience the world. So the more you know of yourself, the more you can impact the world, the more you could change the world, the more you could show up and be the change that you really want to see and add value. So I hope this helps, work life warriors. Please share with me what your thoughts are, and I will see you tomorrow for Fun Funny Fridays. Bye.